Mahatma Gandhi, a name that resonates with peace, resilience, and the unwavering spirit of nonviolence. Before we dive into the narrative of his life, let's clarify a few terms that will help enrich our understanding of this remarkable figure. First, ahimsa, a Sanskrit term meaning nonviolence, refers to the principle of not causing harm to any living being. Next, satyagraha, which translates to truth force or soul force, is Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance against oppression. Civil disobedience is the active refusal to obey certain laws, demands, and commands of a government, often as a form of peaceful protest. Autonomy refers to the right of self-governance or self-determination, especially in the context of nations. Colonialism describes the policy or practice of acquiring full or partial control over another country, occupying it with settlers, and exploiting it economically. Empowerment is the process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's life and claiming one's rights. Non-cooperation is a refusal to engage with or assist a government or authority as a form of protest. Reconciliation involves restoring friendly relations after conflict or disagreement. Disenfranchisement is the state of being deprived of a right or privilege, particularly the right to vote. Lastly, legacy refers to something handed down by a predecessor, often in terms of impact or influence. Now, let's embark on the journey of Mahatma Gandhi, a man whose life was a tapestry woven with threads of struggle, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to justice. Born on October 2, 1869, in Porbandar, a coastal town in Gujarat, India, his early life was marked by a blend of traditional values and the influences of a changing world. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, served as the chief minister of Porbandar, and his mother, Putlibai B., was a deeply religious woman whose spirituality left a lasting impression on young Mohandas, as he was then known. From a young age, Mohandas exhibited a curious mind and a penchant for introspection. He was not an exceptional student, yet his thirst for knowledge was insatiable. At the age of 13, he entered into an arranged marriage with Kasturba, a union that would last a lifetime and through which he would learn the complexities of partnership and sacrifice. In pursuit of education, he traveled to London at the age of 18 to study law, a decision that would set the stage for his future activism. In London, Gandhi faced the challenges of cultural dislocation and racial discrimination. He struggled to adapt to the Western lifestyle while clinging to his Indian roots. It was during this time that he began to explore the philosophies of various thinkers, including Leo Tolstoy and Henry David Thoreau, whose ideas on civil disobedience and moral resistance would later influence his own methods of protest. After completing his studies, Gandhi returned to India, but his initial attempts to establish a legal practice were met with failure. Frustrated, he accepted a position with an Indian firm in South Africa, where he would encounter the harsh realities of racial discrimination and colonial oppression. It was here, in the late 19th century, that Gandhi first employed the principles of nonviolence and civil disobedience. His experiences in South Africa galvanized his resolve to fight against injustice, and he organized the Indian community to resist discriminatory laws through peaceful protests. The years in South Africa were transformative for Gandhi. He founded the Natal Indian Congress and led various campaigns against oppressive legislation, including the infamous pass laws that restricted the movement of Indians. He coined the term satyagraha, embodying the idea that truth and nonviolence could be powerful weapons against tyranny. His activism in South Africa laid the groundwork for his return to India, where the struggle for independence was gaining momentum. Upon his return to India in 1915, Gandhi was greeted as a hero. He quickly became a prominent figure in the Indian National Congress, advocating for self-rule and the rights of the Indian people. His leadership style was unique. He emphasized grassroots mobilization and sought to empower the masses. He believed that true change could only be achieved through the collective action of ordinary people. Gandhi's first major campaign in India was the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917, where he fought for the rights of indigo farmers who were being exploited by British planters. His success in this campaign solidified his reputation as a leader of the people. He followed this with the Kheda Satyagraha, addressing the plight of farmers suffering from famine and heavy taxation. Each victory not only strengthened his resolve, but also inspired countless others to join the struggle for independence. The non-cooperation movement of 1920 marked a significant turning point in Gandhi's activism. He called for Indians to boycott British goods, institutions, and honors, advocating for self-reliance and the revival of indigenous industries. The movement gained widespread support, uniting people across class and caste lines. Gandhi's vision of a free India was one that included all its citizens, irrespective of their background. However, the path to independence was fraught with challenges. The violent turn of events during the Chaufri Kaura incident in 1922, where a peaceful protest escalated into violence, led Gandhi to suspend the non-cooperation movement. He believed that the principles of nonviolence must remain intact, even in the face of provocation. This decision was a testament to his commitment to ahimsa, demonstrating that he would not compromise his values for the sake of expediency. In the years that followed, Gandhi continued to advocate for social reforms, including the upliftment of the untouchables, whom he referred to as Harijans, or children of God. He sought to eradicate the deeply entrenched caste system, believing that true independence could not be achieved without social equality. His efforts in this regard were met with resistance, but he remained steadfast, using his platform to raise awareness and promote change. The Salt March in 1930 was one of Gandhi's most iconic acts of civil disobedience. In defiance of the British salt tax, he led a 240-mile march to the Arabian Sea, where he and his followers produced salt from seawater. This act of defiance captured the imagination of the Indian populace and drew international attention to the Indian independence movement. It was a symbolic gesture that highlighted the injustice of colonial rule and showcased the power of nonviolent resistance. As the struggle for independence intensified, Gandhi faced numerous challenges, including imprisonment and internal divisions within the Indian National Congress. Despite these obstacles, he remained a unifying figure, advocating for communal harmony between Hindus and Muslims. His vision of a united India was one where diversity was celebrated, not feared. The tumultuous events of World War II further complicated the independence movement. The Quit India movement of 1942 was a clarion call for immediate independence, where Gandhi famously declared, "Do or die." This movement saw widespread protests and demonstrations, but it was met with brutal repression by the British authorities. Gandhi was arrested, and the movement faced significant setbacks, yet the spirit of resistance continued to burn brightly among the Indian populace. As the war came to an end, the winds of change began to blow through India. The British, weakened by the war and facing mounting pressure from the Indian independence movement, were compelled to reconsider their colonial rule. In 1947, India finally achieved independence, a momentous occasion that was celebrated across the nation. However, this victory was bittersweet, as the partition of India led to widespread communal violence and the displacement of millions. Gandhi, devastated by the violence and suffering that accompanied partition, tirelessly worked towards reconciliation. He undertook fasts and peace marches, urging people to lay down their arms and embrace harmony. His commitment to nonviolence was unwavering, even in the face of personal danger. Tragically, his life was cut short on January 30th, 1948, when he was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who opposed Gandhi's efforts for communal harmony. Gandhi's legacy is profound and enduring. He is remembered not only as the father of the Indian nation, but also as a global symbol of peace and nonviolent resistance. His teachings have inspired countless movements for civil rights and social justice around the world, from Martin Luther King Jr. in the United States to Nelson Mandela in South Africa. In reflecting on Gandhi's life, we see a man who embodied the ideals of compassion, resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice. His journey was not without its challenges, but through it all, he remained steadfast in his belief that change could be achieved through peaceful means. His life serves as a reminder that the power of love and truth can transcend even the darkest of times. As we continue to grapple with issues of injustice, inequality, and conflict in our own times, Gandhi's teachings remain relevant. His call for nonviolence, social justice, and communal harmony is a beacon of hope for a world that often seems divided. The legacy of Mahatma Gandhi is not just a story of a man. It is a call to action for all of us to embrace the principles of peace and compassion in our own lives. In the end, Gandhi's life was a testament to the power of the human spirit. He showed us that even in the face of adversity, we have the ability to rise, to resist, and to create a world that reflects our highest ideals. His journey is a reminder that we are all capable of making a difference, and that the path to justice is paved with love, understanding, and the courage to stand for what is right.